From the Watergate Building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Chuck Todd and John Mercurio.
You know, it's Hotline TV, so I'm still Chuck Todd.
And I'm John Mercurio. With just 1 week to go and only days before our massive prediction special, we're jumping on some bandwagons. Chuck, where are you jumping, Chuck Todd?
I'm jumping on Michael Steele. I
bet you are.
I think that the National Republicans are going to throw the long ball here and throw some independent expenditure money. I'm not going to be able to tell you for sure when this is going to happen, but I've got my sources, and I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to roll the dice. You know why? Because Washington D.C. airwaves aren't crowded enough, and I think there needs to be. Why should we have any 1-800-mattress commercials at all? We should get rid of all of them, so only have political ads.
So you're jumping on, or are you
Drop
calling
the S
this
for
race?
Senate, by the way.
Are you jumping on this race, or are you calling it?
No, I'm just jumping on.
as a technical-
I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. I think this is
question.
going to be a 3-point race. Cardinal win, but it's going to be razor thin.
You know I'm jumping off?
Who are you jumping off?
I'm jumping off Harold Ford Jr. Not necessarily because of anything he in particular has done, but Democrats have overreacted to the RNC ad. It's not racist, and neither is the radio ad that's running. There are no tom-tom drums when you hear his name. Overreacting to stuff like this is ridiculous, I think. And I'm jumping off Harold Ford for that reason.
Well,
I'm sorry, because you've run a really good campaign. But if you lose, it's because these Democrats overreact to this stuff. They cry racism all the time.
I don't disagree with you on this. I think actually, if the fact that Harold Ford's spending a week talking about race in the last 2 weeks does not help him. He was supposed to be above this stuff. And the fact is, it is his allies, maybe it's not him, but it is his allies that are crying racism so much.
And they're playing right into the hands of the Republicans. Absolutely. More white evangelical Southern voters, especially men, are moved on issues of race, or were in 2004 exit polls, than were moved on issues of Iraq or social issues like abortion.
I totally agree. All right, before we get out of here, let's call a few races. John, you like to call races. Go ahead and call one.
I do like to call races, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to call Texas Gov. I'm going to call it for Rick Perry.
I don't agree with you there. I'm not there yet, but that's good.
I know you're not there. The other one, and I just want to put her out of her misery because she always has to, every 2 years, it's like mid to late October, when there is an NRCC or some sort of Republican poll that comes out that shows that Julia Carson is in big trouble. That's because Julia Carson does not ever campaign. But she will win by 12 points.
12 points? You even put a number on it.
Yes. Not 10, 12 points.
Julia Carson, fascinating.
Julia Carson, you can sleep easy tonight.
Jeez. Well, I'm gonna call a couple races here.
It's a good year for Democrats in Indiana.
We should do that. All right. I'm gonna call a couple races. I'm gonna call Janet Napolitano in Arizona.
Here you go. This is so
I
boring.
think she's going to eke out a victory here. I think she's going to win by.
This is get a beer time
by 17 points.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I'm going to call Maria Cantwell.
Okay. All right. That's at least vaguely.
Look,
competitive.
Unlike you, I'm not going to sit here
because
you're making a mistake on Rick Perry. Rick Perry might win, but I wouldn't call that race yet. I want to see actual votes. I believe in waiting for actual votes.
Calling races before they actually take place.
The idea of the segment was mine, but I just like putting the onus on you. That's the whole point of it.
What do you think is going to happen in Oklahoma?
I'm just saying. I'm not ready to call that yet.
All right.
I've Ishtar was my favorite movie, so why wouldn't I like Ishtar?
I've got an itchy eye. That's a good start for today. I'm John Mercurio.
Ernest goes to governorship. And I'm Chuck Todd. We'll see you tomorrow on Hotline TV.
That was actually funny.